What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Mets Central's Mets fan reaction game 126, where the New York Mets fall to the Baltimore Orioles by a score of 9-5. Before we get into the post-game recap, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe on the channel. We greatly appreciate you guys' support, and we want to keep feeding you guys content throughout the regular season. Also, make sure to turn on post notifications as well to let you know anytime we upload a video or go live on the channel. But yeah, let's get into the post-game recap. Look, there's one place to start. The Mets simply lost this game because Jose Quintana is incompetent and sucks. Like, that's really it. Jose Quintana can no longer be a part of this Mets rotation if they want to go forward and try to make the playoffs. Because right now, he is a net negative. He does not offer this team anything. Like, seriously, so far in the month of August, he has a 6.89 ERA. 6.89, almost a 7. He has to go. He cannot pitch every fifth day anymore. Because right now, he is costing them valuable games. Like, seriously, at this point, you might as well throw Jose Budo in the rotation, let him start every fifth day, or bring up Brandon Sproat and let him pitch. Or even fuck it. Let Tyler McGill or Joey Lucchesi come up and pitch. Because I'm telling you right now, they can't do any worse than Jose Quintana right now. A 6 point ERA in June. I mean, you take a look. The Angels start, like, he was okay. The Mariners start wasn't great. I mean, he let up the home run, and I think it was the first inning of the second inning, and then he was okay after that, but still not great. And then the A's game, horrible. And then this game, he was garbage. The guy gave up a home run to James McCann in the big 2024. James McCann, big James McCann, the guy who we're still paying, I think, $8 million a year or something like that. James McCann hit a home run off Jose Quintana. Not only that, he drove in 3 runs off Jose Quintana today. Like, bro, like, listen, at that point, if you're giving up home runs to James McCann in 2024, you might as well pack your shit up and retire. Or just head out to China and pitch in the Chinese league. Because right now, I mean, the thing with Quintana, right? It's like he takes forever to pitch, and then he pisses you off when he pitches because he's either nibbling around the zone when he's attacking, or when he finally decides to attack, he decides to hang curveballs over the middle of the plate. I mean, he did in Seattle. I forgot the name of the guy who hit the home run, but he hung a curveball, which he hit a home run and put the Mariners up 2-0 in the A's game in the fourth inning with the bases loaded. He hung a curveball to JJ Bleday, and JJ Bleday crushed that for a grand slam. And then today, 2 outs. I think it was man on first, man on second. Throws a hanging curveball to Anthony Santander, and he kissed that shit. And he kissed that shit goodbye. Like, I am sorry, and I'm so glad that he's not going to be here next year because he is pissing me off, and he is just a net negative right now. So yeah, that was my little Jose Quintana rant. Guys gotta go. I'm sorry, you're not good enough. But let's get into the actual post-game recap. So on the mound for the Mets was Jose Quintana, and on the mound for the Baltimore Orioles tonight, it was Kramer. Top of the first, Austin Slater would lead off the game with a single into right field. Ryan Mountcastle would then fly out to Jesse Winker and right. Austin Slater would then be caught stealing. Gunnar Henderson would then walk. And then, like I mentioned before, Quintana hangs a curveball to Anthony Santander, and he crushes that ball to left center field to put the Baltimore Orioles up 2-0. He would then get Eloy Jimenez to fly out to Jesse Winker and right. Bottom of the first, a quick 1-2-3 inning for Kramer, as he would get Lindor to strike out. Vientos would be called out on strikes, and Brandon Nimmo would pop out the Gunnar Henderson to end the inning. Top of the second, Colton Cowser would lead off with a triple, and this was an interesting play right here because he hit the ball deep into left field, and to be fair, like, Nimmo should have caught that ball because he had the ball in his glove. It came out. It went against the wall, and Nimmo was still bobbling. He ended up catching it. Initially, they called it out, but after the umps looked at it on instant replay, they ruled that the ball did hit the wall, so it was a triple. And when you really looked at it on replay, like, most likely it did hit the wall. So I understand them calling it a triple, But I mean, we've seen plenty of times in the MLB this year with in terms of challenging plays and a crew chief review. Like, if there isn't definitive evidence to show that the ball went off the wall, then usually the call is upheld because originally the call wasn't out. But I mean, look, most likely, like I said, the ball did hit the wall, but really you could not tell. So I was a bit at the same time I was a bit surprised and at the same time not surprised I got called, but it is what it is. Ramon Urias would then strike out swinging. Then James McCann would hit a sacrifice fly to bring in Colton Cowser, so that will put the Orioles up 3-0. And then Jackson Holiday would ground out to Mark Vientos to end the inning. Bottom of the second, another 1-2-3 inning for Kramer, as he would get JD Martinez to ground out sharply to Gunther Henderson. Pete Alonso would be called out on strikes, and Jesse Winker will be called out on strikes as well. Top of the third, Austin Slater would lead off with a single. Ryan Mountcastle would hit into a force out. Gunnar Henderson would then ground out to Jeff McNeil, and Antti Santander would fly out to Jesse Winker in right field. Bottom of the third, Francisco Alvarez would walk. Jeff McNeil would walk. So first and second with the Mets with nobody out. Tyrone Taylor would then strike out. Lindor would then strike out, and you were thinking, here we go again. Mets get first and second with nobody out, and they won't get any runs across. Thankfully, though, Mark Vientos does come through with a double, so Francisco Alvarez would score, Jeff McNeil would move over to third, and Mark Vientos would go into second safely. But Mets couldn't get anything else going that inning as Brandon Nimmo would ground out to Jackson Holiday to end the inning. Top of the fourth, Eloy Jimenez would be called out on strikes. Colton Cowser would hit a double. Ramon Urias would hit a single to bring in Cowser, so 4-1 Orioles there. Then, of course, the guy we talked about before, James McCann, in the big 2024, hits a home run off Jose Quintana. Yeah, not great. Not great if you want to win a ball game in the year 2024. Because letting up home runs to James McCann, who was a notorious ground ball double play machine for the Mets. If you're letting up home runs to him, then yeah, you don't deserve to win a ball game. Then Jackson Holiday would strike out swinging. Austin Slater would then ground out to Quintana to end the inning. Bottom of the fourth, JD Martinez would fly out to center field. Pete Alonso would walk. Jesse Winker would pop out to Gunnar Henderson. And Francisco Alvarez would pop out to Jackson Holiday to end the inning. Top of the fifth, Ryan Mountcastle would fly out to Tyrone Taylor in center. Gunnar Henderson would walk. Antti Santander would then fly out to Tyrone Taylor in center. Eloy Jimenez would then rip a double into left center field. That would make it a 7-1 ball game for the Baltimore Orioles. Then Colton Cowser would ground out to Pete Alonso at first to end the inning. Moving on to the bottom of the fifth, Jeff McNeil would pop out to Ramon Urias at third base. Tyrone Taylor would then ground out to Ryan Mountcastle at first. Francisco Lindor then hit a double. Mets couldn't bring him in, though, as Mark Vientos would fly out to Colin Cowser in center at the end of the inning. Pitching change. So Adam Ottavino will come in for Jose Quintana. And then, yeah, we look at Jose Quintana's final line. And, yeah, it was shit. It was garbage. It was whatever word you want to use. 5 innings pitched, 8 hits, 7 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, 2 home runs. Raises his season ERA up to a 4.57. So, good job, Jose. Great fucking job. But yeah, and also, I mean, listen, this was another beauty thing by Jose Quintana because the last 4 starts the Mets had, Manaea, Sevy, Blackburn, and what I forgot off the top of my head, but the last 4 outings by starting pitchers, by Mets starting pitchers, the pitchers got into the 6th inning, but of course, not Jose Quintana, not tonight. Nope, he's got to shit the bed like always. But anyway, Adam Ottavino will come in to replace Jose Quintana. Ramon Urias would ground out to Pete Alonso. James McCann would fly out. Jackson Holiday would pop out to third base to end the inning. Oh, that's right. And I forgot. I forgot to mention that the other pitcher was David Peterson. My bad, David. Then bottom of the 6th, quick 1-2-3 inning for the Orioles. Brandon Nimmo would fly out to left. JD Martinez would be called out on strikes, and Pete Alonso would pop out to Gunnar Henderson at short to end the inning. Top of the 7th, Stanek would come in to replace Adam Ottavino. Cedric Mullins would pinch hit for Austin Slater. He would hit a single. Ryan Mountcastle would then line out sharply to Tyrone Taylor in center. Gunnar Henderson would fly out to left field. Cedric Mullins would then steal second, and Antti Santander would be called on strikes to end the inning. Bottom of the 7th, Cedric Mullins remains in the game. Cionel Perez would replace Dean Kramer. Then Harrison Bader would come into pinch hit for Jesse Winker. He will be called out on strikes. Francisco Alvarez would be called out on strikes, and Jeff McNeil would ground out to second base to end the inning. Then top of the 8th, Harrison Bader would remain in the game. Brazoban came in to replace Ryan Stanek. He would get Eloy Jimenez to line out to himself. Colin Cowser would then strike out. He would walk Urias, but Brazoban would get out of the inning as he would get James McCann to fly out. See, it is possible to get James McCann out. But anyway, bottom of the eighth, Birch Smith will come in to replace Perez. Tyrone Taylor would line out to left field. Francisco Lindor then hit a double. Then a fielding error from Gunnar Henderson. Mark Fields put the ball on the ground, but Henderson couldn't field the ball cleanly. So first and second for the Mets right there with one out. Then Brandon Nimmo would hit a double. So that would score Lindor. Vientos would move over to third. Nimmo would walk into second safely. So 7-2 Mets with second and third. Then JD Martinez will come up to the plate and he would hit a 3-run home run to cut the Orioles lead down to 7-5. So here we are thinking Mets making it a close ball game. Fortunately, though, like we saw from the final score, they wouldn't come back and win the game. But after that, Cano would come in to replace Smith. Pete Alonso would ground out to Gunnar Henderson, and Harrison Bader would strike out to end the inning. Top of the ninth, Danny Young came in to replace Brazoman, and this was a bit of a mess of an inning from Danny Young. He would get Jackson Holiday to ground out to Jeff McNeil at second base. Cedric Mullins would then hit a single. Ryan Mountcastle will then walk, so first and second for the Orioles with one out. Gunnar Henderson would then single. It was just bad fielding by the Mets on this play. Cedric Mullins would come in to score. Then Ryan Mountcastle would come in off an error because Danny Young tried to throw it to Mark Jones at third to get him to tag him out. Ball went past him, so he would come in to make it 9-5. Anthony Santander would then fly out to Tyrone Taylor and right, and Eloy Jimenez would ground out to Jeff McNeil at second base. Bottom of the ninth, with the Mets trying to make a comeback, Francisco Alvarez would ground out. Craig Kimbrell will then come in to replace Cano. Jeff McNeil would fly out to center field, and Tyrone Taylor would be called on strikes to end the game. So that was it for that ball game, and it was a mess from the start. Because listen, when Jose Quintana is putting you in the hole that early, and he's giving up 7 earned runs in 5 innings, like most likely you're not going to come back, especially against a good Baltimore Orioles team that is right now fighting with the Yankees for first place. For first place in the AL East, sorry. So Mets trying to look to bounce back tomorrow. Obviously, tomorrow, 110 game. I will be in the building tomorrow, so post game will come out a bit later. But it's Sean and I on the mound for the Mets, and Irvin will be on the mound for the Baltimore Orioles. So, yeah, listen, Mets got to bounce back, and they got to win this series and salvage this homestand to go to 5-4. And even then, 5-4 is not great because even I mentioned on the last post game. On the last podcast we did that the Mets had to go on a 7-2 homestand, but that is not going to happen. But hopefully they could at least pull tomorrow's game out and win the series and make it a 5-4 homestand to at least salvage something. But that's going to be it for today's post game. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe. Also turn on post notifications. But that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out, baby. Let's go, Mets.